Good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening to all of you, wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lovely guest Rosalind Sedacca with us. Before I say something about her, let me welcome her. A very warm welcome to you, Rosalind. So nice of you for being with us.
It's
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Well, I have got so many questions to be asked from our audience, but still, let me give you a small introduction about this lovely lady. She is the pioneering voice of child centered divorce and founder of the Child Centered Divorce Network. As a divorce and co parenting coach and author of How Do I Tell the Kids About the Divorce, she equips parents with compassionate strategies to safeguard children's future amid separation. She is the host of the Divorce, Dating, and Empowerment Living podcast. Rosalind, join us today to share life changing insight. Let's begin. Once again, a warm welcome to you. Thank you very much for being with us. And here is the first questions. I request you to tell the audience that what are your thoughts for it. And the same as your biodata goes, please tell what's the story behind your founding the Child Centered Divorce Network. Platform is yours. Rosalind, please.
Thank you so much. So yes, being a divorce and co-parenting coach was not my original profession. I was working in marketing and advertising, but I was in the middle of a marriage that was slowly going sour, and I spent many years putting off divorcing because I had a son. And finally, when he was 11 years old, I realized that I had to do something because he was starting to get toxic headaches, tension headaches, and I knew that he was a victim of the fighting that was going on in his home environment. And so it was a difficult decision, but I made it. And then my husband and I had to learn how to co-parent long, long after the divorce. And this was many, many years ago, and there wasn't nearly the amount of support information that's available today. So we basically had to figure it out. And we did, and we raised our son. And one day when my son was in his early 20s, he was
Mhm.
11, he was 11 when we divorced. Now he was in his early 20s. He came to me out of the blue and he said, "You know, Ma, you and Daddy really did a good job with the divorce. And I just wanted to thank you for that because most of my friends whose parents divorced either
Mhm.
hate their parents or are very, very angry at them. And I think
Oh,
you really did a fabulous job." And I let out such a sigh of relief because you hold on to so much guilt, not knowing if you've harmed your child when you go through an experience like a divorce. And it made me think about what I had learned over those years in raising him, what to do and what not to do, what to avoid, and how to make this work for everyone in the family. And I realized I had a lot that I could share with other people. And because my background was in writing, I decided to become a divorce and co parenting coach. I founded the Child Centered Divorce Network. And then I wrote several books and courses and
oh,
programs
great.
sharing the information that I had so people who couldn't work with me one on one in person could still get access to me on worldwide. And so while I coach worldwide virtually like this, I also have these other resources that are on my website. So, one way or another, my focus is on helping parents make the best decisions about their children before, during, and long, long after divorce.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. You are doing wonderful work. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, in your journey, please tell Rosalind that what are the biggest mistakes the divorcing and divorced parents make that scar their innocent
Oh,
children, as you described. Can you please go in detail?
Absolutely. And that is so crucial. So parents don't know what they don't know, unfortunately, and they don't realize that a lot of the things that they're doing are serious mistakes that really do scar their children for a lifetime. And they don't have to happen, because if we can catch the parents beforehand and let them know what to avoid, then the outcome is much more positive and long-term successful for everyone in the family, both of the divorced parents and the children. So one of the most serious mistakes of all is fighting around the children. Studies have shown and proven time and time again that the tension of seeing your parents fighting around you, knowing that you're helpless to do anything about it, is very destructive emotionally and psychologically to children. They want to make it stop. They don't have the ability to. Their parents aren't going to listen to them. They're helpless about it. But it, because they love both parents, it really harms them. And sometimes they act out and become very aggressive, or they turn in and become suicidal. They have extreme behaviors. They their school grades fall apart, and they just lose their lust for life because they're so upset about the family dynamic. If the parents could, when tension happens, just look at each other and say, we can't fight here and now, let's postpone it, we'll talk tonight at 8 o'clock, whatever the situation is, that'll make all the difference. So that's a big mistake to avoid. And not only not fighting in the other room or on the phone, it's just as bad. If the kids can hear you in any way, it's the tension that
Correct.
hurts them. Another
Very good.
serious Another serious mistake is letting your children parent you. A lot of children are very precocious, especially when they become young adolescents and teens, and they take sides and they want to help
Mm,
support one parent or the other. And so they try to step up and be the little adult in the family. It's okay, mom. I'll take care of you. I'll be the dad in the family, the big man in the family. Or the little girls are holding their mother because they're seeing them crying and depressed. And once you share adult information with a child, well-meaning as you are when you're doing that, it robs your children of their childhood innocence. What they can't unhear what you've told them, and they're helpless to fix your marriage. If you couldn't fix your marriage, certainly your child isn't able to fix your marriage. It's not appropriate for them to be thinking like that. So once you let your children step up to parent you and console you and be there for you, you're not being the parent any longer, and you're not there for them, and they need you to be a parent, especially during something like a divorce. So it's a big no-no. It's a big mistake, and again, it scars the children because they're helpless to fix the problem, and it's not their place to be your parent. Another a mistake that's very serious is asking your children to be a spy on your behalf. It's very tempting when the children are visiting one parent or the other and comes back to the other house to start asking, so what did you do with your father or your mother, and what happened here? But the questions very often can go to a place when the parent is fishing for information that the children don't feel comfortable sharing because they know what's going on between the parents. And again, they're torn between wanting to do what
correct.
you want and what the other parent doesn't want. We don't want to put our children in a place like that because, again, it creates psychological, emotional problems and conflict for them. It's not their place to be safeguarding you. It's not their place to be taking care of you or to be your messenger. When you innocently may say to your child, "Tell daddy I'm going to pick you up at 4 instead of 5 o'clock." It sounds very innocent, but suddenly the child has the responsibility of remembering
Correct.
it, getting it correct, and all of that. And if they make a mistake, whose fault is it? They're feeling very guilty. And children always feel guilty about a divorce. They always blame themselves, even though they're always innocent. So you don't want your children to be doing that either. So there's so many things we have to be mindful of because our children are trying so hard to
Correct.
to help and do the right thing, but we have to let them know what's appropriate for them. And we always have to remember we're the parents, and that our children need parenting during stressful times more than ever before.
Very correct. Yes. This is the time when the children need you. Yes. And when you ignore them, then it really gives a very, very serious marking to the children, especially.
Yes. And one more serious mistake let me share is never,
Hmm.
ever badmouth the other parent to the children.
Correct.
Even if you feel
Hmm.
justified and correct, you don't
Hmm.
want to ever do that, because the children, again, they love both parents, and
Yes.
and they don't know how to respond and how to feel. They feel guilty for not wanting to say something bad about the other
Hmm.
parent. They're hearing you say something bad, it tears them apart. And these are the things that create the emotional damage for children.
Yes. So, as you said that children are really responsible, they are serious, they love both the parents, then please tell me that what do the children of divorce they wish their parents knew and understood?
That's a good question. So, what they wish the parents knew is that we want to live in peace.
Yes.
They're innocent. It's not our fault that this and that happened. We don't know how it happened. We can't understand all the adult situations, but we want peace, and we want our life to go back as much as possible to what it was before all the tension started. They also want parents to know that they want to be able to love both parents, even if you don't like the other parent. They want to be able to feel that they can say that I love my other parent, or call the other parent, or do something with the other parent, or make a nice comment about the other parent without you criticizing them. And they also want the ability to be loved by both parents. Sometimes a parent feels justifying in saying, this is a terrible, my ex is such a terrible parent, I don't want my children to have anything to do with them. Well, that isn't what the children want. The children want access to both parents. And unless the other parent is a serious danger to the children, they should be loved by the other parent and spend time with them, and have a life with both parents. And so the children want you to know and understand those things so that you're not making those serious mistakes.
Yes. So perhaps in every step, parents are the main decision maker, and they must understand that when they are separated, it's their duty to see that the children at least remain peaceful and happy with whomsoever they are.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, Rosalind, can you please share some co-parenting success strategies that will work?
Yes. So some of these things are very simple. What you want to do is think of yourselves as a team.
Hmm.
As parents, you're no longer in a romantic relationship, but you're in the business relationship of raising these beautiful children that you both love. And so to do that, you need to be flexible and cooperative, just like in any business endeavor. Things happen, challenges happen. So, number one, you want to do favors for each other, because as strict as you may have a parenting plan that says, I get the children on these dates at this time, and this is the way we're doing it, life happens. People get sick, accidents happen, things go astray. And you want to be able to call up your co-parent and say, hey, I'm going to be 3 hours late because of such and such happening. Or can you take Johnny on Friday and I'll take him on next Friday instead? Can we swap? Those kinds of things. If you stand on ceremony and say, this is not in writing, and this is not my weekend, I'm not going to do it, you're going to lose the opportunity to get a favor when you need it. And co-parenting is a lifelong experience. It's going to be going on for decades and decades, for the rest of your life. And so you want to work something out where you're not enemies when you're cooperating. Also, another success strategy is find something that your co-parent is doing right and
Hmm.
encourage them for it, because you could have a list of 15,000 things, that mistakes that you see your co
Ooh.
making. We're very judgmental, and we don't like them anymore, because that's why
Hmm.
forcing. So it's very easy to criticize. But if every time you interact with the co-parent, it's just criticism, your relationship is not going to be one of cooperation and being a team member. So it's okay to just say, hey, thanks for getting Susie an hour earlier last week. I really appreciate that. Thanks for
Right.
picking up the groceries for the party. I was just in an insane situation. Acknowledge the good things that they do before you start talking about the things that you wish were done differently. So it's called the sandwich approach. Start with something pleasant that you could say. Then in the middle, put the meat of the new conversation where you're saying, I wish you hadn't said that, or next time I would appreciate it if instead you did this. And then end again with another complimentary, appreciative gesture, acknowledgement. We all want to be acknowledged in life. We all want
Right.
to be heard. And so this is a way of strengthening your co-parenting relationship and teaching the co-parent, because they're more likely to catch on and say something nice to you if you are saying something nice to them.
Right.
So we want to be as agreeable as possible. We want to realize that this is a long-term relationship, and we want to be able to talk to one another. It's good to schedule once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks, a time when you sit down together, if you can, in the same room, in the same
Mm-hmm.
place. If not, getting on a Zoom call, getting on the phone, whatever it is, and talking to each other and just coordinating some things that are happening ahead as civilly as possible. Some co-parents can't do that. They have nothing to do with one another, but the children pay the price. So if you can work towards being more amicable with one another, more respectful with one another, it's a gift to the children. That's who's getting the benefit. The children are getting the benefit. And think about it. Don't they deserve it? And one of the most important questions that you could ask
Hmm.
yourself is,
Hmm.
how will my children
Hmm.
think feel about how we handle this divorce when they're grown adults?
Right.
It's very hard when you have a 5-year-old or a 12-year-old to think they're going to ever be grown up. But the surprise is they're going to not only grow up, but they're going to hold you accountable for how you behaved during their childhood. And if you could think about that today, you're more likely not to do the crazy things you regret later on, and you don't have to apologize for them. You could understand that your kids deserve the best from you. Your children are watching you. They're learning from you as parents. It's not the lectures you say. It's not the saying, don't do this and do. It's what you're doing. They're watching how you
They're
behave.
watching. Correct.
So if you behave in a way that's as a good role model, that's what your kids are learning from you, and that's a real gift too.
Very correct. There is saying that monkey sees what monkey does. So definitely, children, they absorb, and they are very susceptible, and they are very innocent. And when they see something different, then they naturally feel very bad. Yes. So, Rosalind, can you share some co-parent success strategy that you have already told? Now,
Yes,
please tell me, what must parents know before they start dating again after
yes,
the divorce?
that's a big topic that we don't always think about initially for a divorce, but it's in most cases it's inevitable that parents are going to want to move on in their life and look for
Mm,
another partner and all of that. It's very important to be mindful. If you're dating and you have children, it's a different situation than dating and you don't have children, because those
right,
those children are looking to you, they're learning from you, and again, you're a role model. So you have to be very mindful that not only are you choosing a good partner for a healthy relationship for you and learning the lessons from the divorce so you don't repeat bad mistakes that you may have made or bad choices that you made, but you also want to be very careful that you pick someone who likes children and
right,
understands these children are significant in your life. They're not just someone on the side. these children are a big part of my life, regardless of how often you're seeing them. And you want to make sure you can't expect a new partner to love your children instantly. That's impossible. But you don't want to select a partner who doesn't like children or doesn't have patience with children or doesn't want you to have a close relationship with your children. That's starting off on a bad track. So you want to make very sure that you're choosing wisely. You're letting people know, partners know early on that you're a parent, that these children are in your life and they mean so much to you, and that you want, hopefully, for them to adapt to appreciating children and always treating them with respect. So that's part of it. You also want to take the dating and relationships very slowly,
Mhm.
because sometimes we feel a void in our hearts and we rush
Yes.
too much into another relationship thinking that that's going to heal us, but it doesn't, because if we're not secure within ourselves, if we didn't do the homework of working on ourselves after the divorce, we're not going to attract a healthy relationship into our lives, and that's not good for us. It's definitely not good for our children.
Children.
So you want to take it very slow, and you also want to take it very slow in before you introduce your children to new partners. You want to really wait and make sure this is a relationship that's serious enough to be doing this. Otherwise, children get this revolving door where they're meeting strangers, they get attached to someone, and then 2 months later or 6 months later, they're gone out of their lives. It hurts and wounds children to have that happen. So it's a process where you just have to put yourself in your child's shoes,
Yes.
experience what it's like to be 6 or 9 or 15, and what it's like, the things that scare them about a new stranger. There's a lot of jealousy and insecurity with children and this new partner. There's jealousy and insecurity with your former partner, your ex. There's a lot of emotional areas that need to be handled slow and steady, and just be very aware, and don't rush into any of these relationships, and talk to your children. Get
Mm.
them on eye level, speak to them, and let them know that they can vent. They can let you know how, if they're upset or worried or scared about someone new in their life. Allow them to talk and speak to you without making them wrong, without stopping them, because this is very important in keeping communication open with your children and keeping your relationship with them loving and healthy.
Great. Well, there are so many questions, and each and every reply that you are giving, I am feeling that you should give more detail, more detail, more details.
Mhm.
But I have so many questions to be cover. So thank you for shortening your replies. Well, let me change my vehicle in the other direction. I have got few rapid fire questions for which I request you to reply either in a one word or the shortest possible way. And then, if time permits, we'll again switch over to these questions. And here is the first question for you, Rosalinda, and that is, who are better parents, the mother or father? What's your answer?
My answer is neither one. I've seen terrible parents, both mothers and fathers, and I've seen wonderful parents, both mothers and fathers. Neither
Very
gender
good.
is a better parent. Every individual is unique, and that's the truth.
Correct. And what's the most important question that divorcing parents must ask themselves?
Do I love my children more than I hate my ex? No matter how you
Oh,
feel about your ex, you have to stay and believe and know that you love your children more, so that you're motivated to make these right decisions and not let your kids pay the price for your divorce.
very right. And what do the children of divorce need most of all from you?
Your love. They need to know it and feel
Hmm?
it, and you have to let them know frequently that it's not their fault, and
Correct.
you love them, you love them, you always will love them.
And is there any time frame that how long does co-parenting go on?
Co-parenting goes on for the rest of your life, hopefully. And
Wow.
we have started understanding that this is a lifelong endeavor. So you want to start it on the best foot forward and stay in a good healthy mindset, because your children are going to be picking up everything from you.
And is it better to stay together for the sake of the child? What do you say?
I say no,
Mm-hmm.
because children pick up on the energy in your family dynamic. So you may think you're performing and in a marriage that the children are not aware, but children pick up on tension, they pick up on sadness and depression, the energy in the home. So if you're staying together for the sake of your children, but there isn't love in that home, the children are going to pick up on that, and that's going to become an emotional or psychological problem for them.
The amount of information and the detail that you have given is literally, for me, it is mind boggling. And can you please tell us that what are the places or the sources or the direction or the sites where my listener can go and listen to you and get more information from you?
Absolutely. So it's very simple, because everything is at
Mhm.
childcentereddivorce.com.
Right?
Childcentereddivorce.com. I have a free ebook right on the home page that you could download immediately. I
Mhm.
have a lot of courses and programs and tip sheets and interviews. So there's tons of information for everyone. And I have several wonderful programs and courses. My signature book is How Do I Tell the Kids About the Divorce, which is a very unique and acclaimed approach to breaking the divorce news to children, which is one of the most difficult conversations parents can ever have.
Right. And can you please give one advice that parent must remember and apply in their life?
Yes, be willing to apologize for any mistakes you've made. Sit
Good.
and look at your child and say, mommy made a mistake doing that. Daddy should never have said that. And I apologize to you. I wish I had done it differently, because it gives children permission to understand that they can apologize for things
Mhm.
they did it, that we all make mistakes, and that they're not above or below being able to own those mistakes. It makes them more responsible, and they're very, very forgiving. Our children want to forgive us. They will forgive you. And if you don't apologize, they're going to hold it against you when they grow up.
Great. By the way, the amount of information that you're given, I loved each and everything. Rosalind, your child centered approach isn't just guidance, it's a beacon for healing families through the divorce. Your books, programs, and advocacy remind us prioritizing kids builds resilience and enduring love. Thank you very much for this wisdom. May it empower every listener to author brighter tomorrow.
Thank
A
you,
very
Dina.
heartful thanks to you,
Appreciate
Rosalind, for illuminating our podcast with our expertise in child centered divorce. Your resources and the passion have transformed countless of lives, I'm sure, that offering hope and tools for the co parenting success. In celebrating you, we honor the quiet strength of putting children first. Your impact endures. And we, on behalf of this platform, really wish that wherever you are, may God bless you with all strength, all wisdom, all power, all money, all time, and everything for the service that you are doing. Really, I loved it. I loved it. I'm
Well,
shaken because
thank
I know
you.
many of my friends, they are divorced and definitely they need the guidance. Very correct. Please go ahead. We would love to know more from you.
I just said, just so kind of you for saying all those things. I appreciate it. It goes to my heart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we say namaste. So, very big namaste to you. So,
Yes.
that namaste has a lovely meaning that I bow down to you about in front of the wisdom that God has given to you, the power and the service that you are doing. It's really wonderful. So, if my platform invites you in future, I will certainly request you, please spare some time to be with us and share your wisdom.
It was
Well,
my pleasure.
thank you. Thank you so much. See you soon then. Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.